A really strange thing happened today. So I was busy sorting out some elevation stuff, sorting out the file that I use on the retreats, and I was thinking about. I didn't get a chance to share it, the last one, a little blog, because it just didn't flow that way. But it's a blog that I wrote 6 years ago, and I was thinking about just recording it and sharing it for people and doing it as a vlog, trying to branch out and all that, and put it on YouTube and see what happens to it. And then I get a call or a text from my mum, and she's talking about it's the anniversary of the death of an uncle. And I remembered that he was actually mentioned in this. So I'm taking that as a sign that I need to record this and get it out there. So this was a blog that I done 6 years ago, and it's called What Are You Waiting For? And it says change. It can be scary. It can be wanted, yet unwanted at the same time. It can turn your life upside down. It can feel chaotic. But one thing is certain, it's going to happen. Nothing stays the same. It must change. It's law. Even your body regenerates its cells every now and again. You literally recreate yourself on a physical level all of the time. We are cyclic beings as humans, and just as seasons change on Earth, so do we. We have to. It's called evolution. We have to change, to grow, to evolve. Many of us grew up with expectations of leaving school, finding a fantastic job, now our wages increasing every year, owning a home, being in the same great company forever with loads of promotions, leaving work age 60, and then really living our lives when we retire, with a mortgage paid off and a decent pension seeing us right through until we leave this body. Wait, what? What the? Like, that is just truth bumps as I was typing that, but how scary is that? Many of us grew up with the expectations that we would maybe spend our teenage years in our early 20s having fun, going on holiday and completing our education. Then we would be truly set in the field that we'd chosen, happy and free. We would meet the one who we would stay with and live happily ever after for the rest of our lives with 2.4 children, golden Labrador, and the same circle of friends we grew up with. We would all be best of friends forever. You would grow old with your partner, your kids would grow into incredible adults, be happily married with their own kids, and you would have done an amazing job and they would live an even better life than you have. But this is not the world that we live in, and it's never been the world that we live in as far as I can tell. People have always had heartbreaks, challenges, health issues, unfulfilling jobs, and unhappy marriages that have left them feeling less than they truly are. People have always had unhappiness in their lives, things to worry about, and felt anxious or depressed. The trouble is, we've bought into this paradigm of trying to live up to everyone else's unrealistic expectations. We carry the weight of the entire world on our shoulders, and we try and keep it all together, furiously refusing to acknowledge that there is, in fact, all wrong with us. We have just given our power away to others, to society, to social media, to the government, to family and friends, and sometimes to a God or power that be, that judges and criticises you for absolutely anything you do, think, or feel that doesn't live up to their truth, which most of the time isn't even their truth. It's just shit that they've also bought into without taking the time to consider whether it actually sits well with what they know to be right and true. No wonder we feel out of control. No wonder we're scared of change. And no wonder we feel like our life isn't our own. No wonder we feel unhappy and our bodies are riddled with dis-ease and anxiety. We are living our life bearing the weight of every bugger else's, dead or alive, real or imagined, expectations. Why do we cling on so tightly to a life that doesn't serve us? Why do we hold on to the past and make it our certain future? We go unconsciously about our lives, living in misery, same shit, different day. We repeat the same behaviours as we've always done. Do you know that by the time you're 35 years old, 95% of who you are is just a series of repeated unconscious beliefs, thoughts, and behaviours? We think on average 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day. So 95% of that is just the same old bullshit you lived yesterday. Now that is scary. So what can we do about it? The first step is to become aware of what you're doing unconsciously. That is to become aware of what you're currently unaware of. Start to question it all. Are your thoughts limiting you in some way, or are they inspiring you? Or maybe you are aware of what's not working for you, but just need to examine why and figure out what needs to change. The next step is possibly the hardest. It's when you've worked out what's not working out in your life, and you know you have to take action to create some change in your life. The next step means you have to put some effort in to change. You know that your actions will affect others. And how many of us were brought up to believe that you have to put everybody else's needs before your own? You can't cope with the shame and guilt of how you live in your truth will temporarily hurt others. So you decide instead to just live a lie forever. You know that breaking away from what has become the norm for you will make you feel uncomfortable. No, best to just stay okay and safe in your unhappiness, illness, and state of unrest. Best to just stay in the familiar. Stick to what you know. Same old, but at least there's no surprises there, right? You know what else there's not if you live your life that way? Surprises, great ones. You are living a predictable life in miserable safety, stuck, not growing, not living. Choosing to stay where you are day after day, and your body goes into survival mode. After all, you have chosen to simply survive, to exist, rather than to grow, evolve, and live. There is no adventure, no new things to try and to love. There are no amazing discoveries about yourself, your talents, your true purpose in this life. There are no new friendships with people who could inspire, encourage, and uplift you. No meeting new people who have also dared to break free, who've had the courage to embrace their vulnerability and surrender the whole shit show of society's expectations, and who are boldly and greatly living their truth. Now, a lot of us have times when we realise this. Often, a death of a loved one or losing someone at a young age brings out this epiphany. You say, life's too short, life is for living, and it lasts a day or two until you slip back into your old, known, familiar habits. Those same behaviours, that same way of being. Sometimes there's a redundancy, a relationship breakup, a major accident, incident, or illness in the family. Then you will choose to change. Then you will take your power back, and then the shock to your system jolts you out of survival mode and back into a state of creation. Life literally forces you to change. It sends you experiences and signs and opportunities to try and jolt you out of your inertia. Dr. Joe says something that really resonates with me, Dr. Joe Dispenza. He says, you can learn and change in a state of pain and suffering, or you can learn and change in a state of joy and inspiration. Here's the rub. If you choose to wait for the pain and suffering or some other life event, like, I don't know, let's think of the excuses. I've heard some of them I've heard, and some of them I've used myself over the years. Like, I will when the kids are older. I will when I lose weight. I will when they next muck up. I will when I'm in a better place financially. Maybe they will find someone else and it'll be out of my hands then. I will when they are in a better place. I will when I have more of my own shit together. I mean, whoever truly does. Blah, blah, blah. If you choose to wait until then, not only are you continuing to live a lie, robbing those around you of the true you that you came here to be, but you're wasting your life and you're continuing to drain your life force energy. You're living in survival for longer, creating even more dis-ease and unhappiness in your life. You will also find that when the crisis or life event happens, all your energy's used up on dealing with that, and it will take longer to create the life that you want. Alternatively, choosing to learn and change in a state of joy and inspiration means that you have to do some self-work, perhaps meaning that you have to revisit some stuff that you've worked on burying in your lifetime and put some effort into overcoming whatever it is that you're living that has got you to where you are right now in the first place. And many of us don't want to do that. We want to keep our vibe high on the rare occasion that that is. Read that sentence again. Many of us don't want to do that. We want to keep our vibe high on the rare occasion that it is. On the rare occasion that it is. Why not make every day amazing? Why not work towards changing your life now, today? What exactly are you waiting for? Choosing to make changes means creating new habits, thoughts, and behaviours and pruning away old ones. It also sometimes means reparenting yourself. After all, you are no longer a child. You are an adult, and you can choose how much you will let your past determine your future. Here's another truth to consider. Your kids are learning from you all the time. What beliefs do you want to create for them? That their happiness doesn't matter? That they should settle for okay and not strive to achieve their goals and dreams? That they should put up and shut up? That they are powerless? It's just the way it is? You have the power to break this cycle. Just because it's always been this way for as long as you can remember, going back generations, it doesn't mean that has to be the future. We can't change the world and society we live in unless each and every one of us takes responsibility for our own world, for our own happiness and well-being, for our own lives. We must create our own future while simultaneously encouraging and supporting others to do the same. Examine your beliefs. What is true for you? What do you want to do? What lights you up? Get off your arse, take your control and power back, and make those changes. Go all in. Yes, it may create a bit of chaos and unrest for others temporarily, but it's got to be the best thing for everyone in your life if you are happy and healthy and living a life you love. Surely. Who knows, you may inspire them to take control and responsibility for their happiness too. So, to quote my Uncle Dickie, there's no point in doing anything half-assed, kiddo. Go all in. Take a deep breath. Seek the light, the fun, the joy. Seek health and happiness and unconditional love for yourself, for life, and for humanity. What exactly are you waiting for?